What mesh is it? Bro, well I guess you're referring to the number of threads I used in each stencil to print this design. Look, here we have the two threads. Here we have the white 64 threads and here the black 90 threads. Look, why did I decide it this way? Fabric, and I'll tell you more or less my way of planning this job. Here we have black and white. The white is what I'm going to start with, and I'm going to give it 2 coats first. And the black, I'm also going to give it 2 coats, but since it's going to close the image. Generally, when you stamp semitones, this is my way of seeing it and my way of working. I clarify just in case. Generally, when you stamp semitones, 2 or 3 downstrokes, and I generally always do that whether it's the t-shirt background or I give it 2 or 3 coats. In this case, since the t-shirt is a light green, I give it 2 coats of each color so that it covers well. I also use covering inks when you go to my tone, and at the time of applied pressure, when you make the descents over there, between descent and descent, it widens for you. What would be the dot of the semitone? And then I taking that into account, and that the black was going to close the stamp. The white did not matter to me, so I put them in 64 threads. You know that the fewer threads the templates have, the more ink discharge they make. So the white that in 64 was going to be first doesn't happen anything, but the black I needed that it gives me a more contained and more controlled discharge, so that when I uncap it, the black doesn't saturate me. That is, I didn't want the image to be any darker because I wanted to achieve a certain gray. I don't know if it was achieved or not, but I liked how it turned out. That's why I made this template choice. 64 base color and the one that was going to be black 90 threads. Because between going down and going down so that the point doesn't saturate me and I have a more controlled discharge. At the time of stamping, I have more or less a certain sensitivity at the time of passing that. But well, sometimes it can happen to you that you pass with too much force, you unload very strongly, and you will saturate the point, as I was telling you, that it is widening, or it may burst on you because maybe there was a risk that the black would step on the white a bit, and when color steps on color with ink in the water, it can end up bursting a bit. But okay, in this case, luckily it didn't happen to me, and this is a recommendation, and also that's why I chose 90 threads when you use a 90 thread soap with water ink around, and the inks that are a bit creamier. I add fluidifier to it. He says the word is so that the ink is more fluid, then the ink was going to be more fluid, it was going to fall. Near the other color, I more or less had to control so that the point would not become saturated on me. I used the 90 thread soap. I hope I didn't cause you too much trouble and explained well but good clear. As always in my YouTube videos, this is my way of working and my way of seeing it. I hope it serves you. See you.